And you'll see, here's our web page. It says George is my best friend. It's centered because we have the center tag, and then George is my best friend, and then close the center tag. So I showed you it like this, okay, where we've got the opening tag and the closing tag. But a lot of times when you're doing it, it looks like that as well. So get used to both ways. I'll put the center and the closed center right like this. Now, let's make George underlined as in our example before. And then we don't want it to be underlined after George. And if we go to best friend, let's make that italic just like the example I gave you. And then we want to close the italic over here. So if we go to our file, we go to save as, and remember you always got to pick all files, and we want to save that as hand code. Do I want to replace it? Yes. Now if I go back to my website and I click on hand code, now look, it says George is my best friend. George is underlined and best friend is italic. George underlined, best friend italic. Now let's make the whole thing bold so that George is bold and underlined. This part is just bold, and this part is bold and italic. So we go into our code, and let's make the whole thing bold. So we want all of our text to be bold, and since we put the bold on the outside of the underline tag, the underline closes here, but we need to put it on the outside of the italic tag. Now here you'll see a period. Now do I want the period to be bold? Yeah, sure, let's include the period. So I'm going to delete it here. I'm going to go put the period there. Okay, so I don't have to keep hitting save as. I can just go hit save. And that's a keyboard shortcut. Here it says save is Control plus S. So as I'm editing, I can hit Control and S and it will automatically save it. So when I'm working, I like to do that a lot. So let's go back to our folder, check on our page, and you'll notice now it's all bold. George is bold and underlined, Ismai is just bold, and best friend is bold and italic. Now let's keep going with this and let's see. Sorry, I have a previous version of it open here. Now what else can we do with this page? Let's make the font a bigger size. Now let's make the whole thing a bigger size font. So let's open up a font tag and let's put in that size equals. Now I always put quotations and then I close it and then I go back in and I put the 3. Now I opened a font tag here and that was before the bold tag. So to keep it properly nested, I've got to go after the closing bold tag and close my font. Every time I create an opening tag, I create a closing tag right away. And we've got this attribute in here, size, and we've got the value as 3. So let's save it, and let's go back to our folder and hit hand code. And you can see that the size didn't look like it changed because I guess the default was 3. So let's go back and change it to 4. Let's make the font size 4, and we go and save it. Now we open that page, we don't have to keep hitting on our folder. We open that page, now we've changed it. This page is still open from before with the old code. So if we hit refresh, we know the new changes will take effect. So now you can see it got bigger. Now let's go back and make it even bigger. We want to make the font size equal 5. So we hit save, and we go here, and see this is still the old page with the coding for 4, so we have to hit refresh. And it got even bigger. Now what else can we do? Let's make George blue. Now we already made the font size 5 and we closed this font tag here. So that font tag's telling all the font to be 5. Now if we just want George to be blue, we need another font tag. So we create a font tag here, and here will be color equals, and then I put my quotations and I close the tag. Now I only want it to happen to George, and since I'm inside of the underline, I got to stay on the inside here, and I close the font tag. Now color, there's a few ways to do color, but for now I can just type in a name, blue, red, green, orange, and it gives the basic color. Later I'm going to show you how to create custom colors, but for now blue will work just fine. So let's Save. And let's go here. Now